I just want to start this review by saying Ninox is a very small company. In fact, it's just one person behind it. So while the mouse is very good and worthy of being in the top 20, there are some issues that are expected, mainly with the build quality. I know how hard it can be to get a product made, even if you get the designs right, even if the samples are right. The actual end product may have faults, workers take shortcuts, machines aren't set up properly, there's an issue with something that day, or people just made mistakes on the assembly line. It happens. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because I hope people can be patient with this, as it's a very good mouse, and I hope we'll see even better mice in the future from Ninox. And if you can't tell already, this mouse is a good size for me. I play very well with it, and I really enjoy it. Let's get to the important points. The design is ambidextrous with side buttons on the left only. There is just enough curvature on the side, both vertically and horizontally, to assist with comfort and grip. But I don't really like the textured plastic on the side. It's okay, but it doesn't feel good to me. The top is smooth but with some texture, and it feels much better to me. There are some subtle comfort grooves in the buttons, but unfortunately the buttons are not separate from the shell. The back tapers to a point, but it's rounded where my hand sits, and it's somewhat flat on the top, giving the hand more surface area to rest on. For me, it feels great. I really like the design of this shell. The hump is toward the back, so that gives claw grip something to rest against, and the slope is kind of steep, which might make it a little more difficult to use with fingertip grip. Here it is next to the G703 and FK2, so you know the general size of it. It's a small to medium mouse, and I feel like I can use it in all three grip styles. Looking at the measurements, the grip width is about 5.4 centimeters. The length looks about 11.7, with a fair bit of overhang. And the height looks like about 3.9 centimeters. I think this is really good for 18 by 9 centimeter hands, all three grip styles. But check the size chart and as usual, multiply your hand size by 0.6 to see if the measurements are right for you. The length is more based on grip style, the width is more about aim. It only weighs about 79 grams, which is very light and may be part of why I could aim so well with it. And the weight distribution feels fairly in line with the sensor, which is kind of toward the back, between my thumb and little finger. That's not too common on other mice, but it didn't seem to hinder my aim at all. Moving on to the buttons, here is a listen to the clicks. So this is where the mouse is let down a bit, not because of the buttons, but the build quality. Left and right, while they feel light and good, they have some extra travel, meaning you click it in, and then it travels a bit further. That actually started happening on my old EC2A, so it's nothing new, but it can be annoying. Middle click seems quite good, but the wheel on mine rattles, which is a shame because the steps feel good, and fairly smooth too. I quite like the size and feel of it as well. Side buttons are plastic and what you'd expect, not too much travel, and they're higher quality than some other plasticky side buttons. For the build though, there's more. When tapping it, it's easy to hear there's an issue, and obviously when shaking it too. Holding the scroll does stop a lot of the noise. But here's my main issue. Listen as I squeeze it. It creaks and cracks. Apparently that wasn't on the sample versions, but it is on the production versions of the white. I've been told that the black version of this will solve these issues, so I might have to do an update video when it's released. In the latency testing, they perform really well. Almost no difference between them and the G403, and there's no tap activation, and I can use multiple buttons together. Once the quality concerns are addressed, it should be great for MOBA and FPS. Now the in-game testing for the sensor, which is the 3360, the top optical at the moment. It handles rocket jumping just fine, of course, and moving it as fast as I can't make it spin out. Even in the tilt slam test, it's fine. Zooming in for the sniper test, it tracks pixel by pixel, and it does it well at all DPI levels. I can't find any acceleration or deceleration, and the lift-off distance is under 1 DVD on both cloth and hard pads that I tested. I can't feel any delay. In testing the 360, it's about the same as the others. In the line test, there's no unusual jitter, angle snapping or skipping, the lift-off movement is well controlled, and there's no lens rattle. Overall, a solid performance. No issues that I found in testing or in game. The cable is about 1.8 meters, smooth and a bit stiff, as you can see by me pushing it back like this. However, it didn't affect me in the game while I was using a mouse bungee, but that could definitely be improved. The two large mouse feet glide smoothly, and there are some replacements included in the box. No software for this one, but you can get a firmware update, so check the site for that. I'll leave the link in the description. In conclusion, I really like this mouse. It has so many good points, and it's definitely one I would be happy using. It's just the build quality issues letting it down, and also makes me hesitant to recommend it over others. Still, even with the issues, in game I'd usually forget them and I'd aim very well, so it's not a deal breaker, but it is a concern. return, and maybe most people will wait for the black version and hope that the issues are fixed. It's a great mouse, definitely worth checking out, but just be aware of the potential issues. You can also check the description for links on how to support the channel and where to buy the Venator. As always, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.
Accuracy.